All right, we are the Screen Team. We are back with some more reviews for you. We've got Kadam on this show, and Kadam has decided for us that we are going to do a Frank Sinatra themed show. And we are doing a lot of movies that you might not recognize from Frank Sinatra. Of course, Sinatra, Oscar winner, got probably the greatest musical voice of all time. Do you agree with that?
100% agree. It's one of my favorite artists of all time. I've got vinyls and cassettes and everything like that. I might be addicted.
He's like butter, man. He's got that smooth voice. This next film we're getting ready to review is a movie called It Happened in Brooklyn. The story is about Danny. He's been in the Army for 4 years, yet all he thinks about, a pretty girl? No, it's not a pretty girl. He thinks about the town of Brooklyn and how great it is. When he returns after the war, he finds out that it's not as romanticized as he had remembered. Yeah. So this movie was released in 1947. It stars Frank Sinatra, also Jimmy Durante, and Katherine Grayson. Kadam, your thoughts on It Happened in Brooklyn?
I actually liked it. I haven't seen really too many Frank Sinatra movies. Haven't really seen any like 40s style movies. I know that you like those kind of things.
So what you're saying is this is your first Frank Sinatra film.
This is
your first 1940s film, and you're like, yeah, this is pretty good.
First movie I've ever watched. I enjoyed it. Like my 5-year-old, my fiance watched it the whole way, and it's just an interesting movie. The whole weird, romantic feeling for Brooklyn itself kind of threw me off, just because I guess my millennial mind.
No. I agree with you 100%. Like you mentioned a few moments ago, I love old movies. I love the way that they kind of make you feel. They kind of make you feel safe and, in a blanket kind of feeling or whatever. But the way that he felt about Brooklyn was pretty weird.
Yeah.
To say the least, man.
Had a picture of, the Brooklyn Bridge, and instead of like a pinup girl like they talked about in the movie, it was just the bridge, and she kind of looked at it like, okay, Danny, what are you doing? Because that's what I'm in love with, Brooklyn. I'm like, okay, weirdo.
Yeah, that kind of, I don't want to say it ruined the film for me, but I was like, man, this movie could have been a whole lot better if, I love my hometown. I love St. Louis. I talk about it a lot to folks, but I don't carry no picture around saying, man, I love St. Louis.
That arch.
Yes. But I mean, that really kind of took me out of the movie a little bit. So he returns from the war to Brooklyn, and he finds that people a little bit rough, a little bit gruff in Brooklyn.
Blunt.
Very, very blunt, typical New York type of behavior, go big or go home kind of attitude. But along the way, he meets a young lady who's very, very talented in music, and finds an old friend from back when he was in school, played by Jimmy Durante. Are you familiar with him?
No.
You call him the guy with the big nose, right?
Yeah, that's the only thing I couldn't get past. I was like, okay.
I mean, this guy, he was a singer. He was in Frosty. Frosty the Snowman.
He's got a good voice.
Frosty the Snowman.
See, I haven't seen that one. We're going to have to review that one.
I can't believe you haven't seen Frosty the Snowman. You've seen Maximum Overdrive, but you haven't seen Frosty the Snowman.
I've seen the Cable Guy, too.
So we got this film, and there's like a love triangle going on in this movie as well. You got Frank Sinatra, you got Katherine Grayson. They've got a little bit of a connection because of Jimmy Durante's character. For some reason, Jimmy Durante, he's friends with Frank Sinatra. He's living with Frank Sinatra, but he wants to hook him up with a girl. He's like, you got to quit talking about Brooklyn. Let's find yourself a girl. So he wants to hook him up with Katherine Grayson's character. Along the way, though, Frank Sinatra's old friend from the war comes by, and he is kind of a Chris Berger wannabe, not very good with the ladies.
Hi guys.
He's very, very shy, doesn't know what to say around the girls.
Sports?
You guys like Pearl Jam by any chance? No? Okay.
Have a good one.
So Frank Sinatra's in this weird position where he kind of likes this girl, but he's also trying to help out his friend and see if he can get him married off, kind of thing. So you got this love triangle going on. What did you think about the whole love triangle situation in this movie?
It confused me.
the fact that Frank Sinatra was trying to help this guy, or what confused you about it?
It was more he just got to Brooklyn. He's like, you know what? I found this chick we were in a cab with. She's a teacher, and I found her out of this whole entire town. You know, hey, guess what? We have one thing in common. You're my girlfriend now. That's it. You're done.
Isn't that how you and your girl got together?
You know, I was like, hey, you come here. You're mine. Don't move. but the whole like, you know, you're mine kind of thing. And then, you know, his friend came back trying to find him a girlfriend. You can kind of sense a connection between, you know, the girl and then the guy that was, I believe on a boat or some sort. But his grandfather told him, you know, basically you have to get a girl. You're too quiet.
Yeah.
Your music that you play on the piano kind of sucks. You know, just throwing that out there. But go to Brooklyn and try to become a man, I guess you could say. So you can feel the tension between the girl and the foreign guy. And Frank's just over there going, you know, Danny, he's just kind of like, I have a girlfriend and a friend. There's nothing between those two. I can sense it.
So we got the love triangle going on. It's Frank Sinatra. We also have music in the film. I mean,
Yes.
wouldn't be a Frank Sinatra film without him singing many, many songs. What did you think about the music in the film?
I haven't really heard too much of those songs. I've heard the classics, you know, like Fly Me to the Moon and, you know, that kind of thing. But the actual songs in the movie were pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, Frank Sinatra, like you said, his butter voice, real deep, you know, a subtle tone. It's not really too extravagant like, you know, Ariana Grande hitting those high notes only bats can hear.
Yeah.
You know, but the songs I enjoyed, and so did Carson, which I was actually surprised about. He's my 5-year-old. But he actually sat down and he wanted to listen to more.
Yeah.
So I threw on the vinyl and everything like that I have of Frank Sinatra, and he sat down and watched it.
It's amazing how that music can transcend generations, you know?
Yeah, it's weird.
Catherine Grayson, she had a very interesting voice, too. Very operatic.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounded like what Emily said anyways, was somebody grabbed her and just started shaking her real fast. Because her vibrato was ridiculous. It was good. It was real good.
So it happened in Brooklyn. Is this something that you would want to see again down the line, or are you good, man?
Yeah, I'll definitely see it again. Not so much, I don't think Carson would.
Yeah.
But Emily and I would definitely watch it again.
All right, good stuff. It's called It Happened in Brooklyn, back from 1947, starring Frank Sinatra, and you can find it on DVD. We got another Frank Sinatra film to review. We'll get to that next on KWOC.